Hi there, welcome to my views and news. This video is a little different, views. It's not about new stories, but it's an analysis of the Oromo Liberation Army struggle ongoing for years, rather for decades. I only want to focus on 4 points which seem to be the weaknesses of the Oromo Liberation Army. Maybe in a future video, we'll talk about Ola's strengths too. But this video is all about the Ola's flaws, the shortcomings. Uh, one of these weaknesses is not Ola's weakness, but a situation which Ola is facing. But three, I believe, are main weaknesses of the Oromo Liberation Army. Let's have a look at these four weaknesses one by one. Firstly, viewers, I did a video a few days ago. After that, several of my Ola friends got angry with me and they are out of touch with me. They cut off contacts with me. They said, Sajid, you disclosed our strategy, though. I think everyone knows now what Ola is up to, keeping in view that main Ola commanders have been they have surrendered, so they know what Ola has been doing, what Ola wants, what is Ola's strategy, and now they are part of the government. I think the first main weakness of the Oromo Liberation Army is its strategy. Fano wants to capture Addis Ababa, it wants to remove the government, it wants to militarily remove the government. Tigray fighters want to remove the government, they could not. Fano, so far, not successful. Ola's strategy is unclear. Or you can say, strategy it has adopted won't lead to results. It does not really want to reach Addis Ababa. It does not really want to encircle Addis Ababa. I spoke in detail in that video about Ola's strategy. It wants to continue recruitments. It wants to turn into a formidable army, which will then overpower the government. It will outnumber the federal forces. And federal forces won't be able to resist Ola. Ola will take over. That is why Oromo Liberation Army tries to minimize its losses to its manpower, because what matters most for Ola is manpower. It wants to grow as big as possible. And that is why it avoids direct confrontation against security forces. It is not in support of large-scale military operations, large-scale security operations. Rather, it carries out ambush attacks, hit-and-run attacks, and its sleeper cells operating as well. And when major operations are launched on Ola fighters just retreat to their hideouts in Oromia in neighboring countries. It means they don't want to take on the Ethiopian National Defense Force. Yes, you see clashes, but it does not mean that Ola is really interested in waging full-scale war on the Ethiopian military, though it has the capacity, by the way. A group with 100,000 fighters can create big problems for the government, for Oromia regional government, for the Ethiopian federal government. But a group with 1,000 fighters is just involved in a few skirmishes here and there. Why? This is the group's strategy. They don't want to, the group fighters commander, they don't want to wage a full-scale war on the Oromia government, Ethiopian federal government. I think if Tigray fighters waged full-scale war. Far from trying, Ola does have the capability, I believe. It's more organized. It has stable source of income. It has stable supply of weapons. I know that. I don't want to disclose more. But still, it does not want to wage full-scale war on the government, on the capital. It wants to go slow. It wants to grow big so that in future government won't be able to just ignore the Oromo Liberation Army, and it will become a player in Ethiopia, either through negotiation or through the use of force. The use of force will be minimal because all our fighters will be tens of thousands in number. This is not how armed groups operate, by the way. This is not guerrilla fighters operate, by the way. They have their objectives clear and they want to achieve the targets. I personally think this strategy is flawed. Today you have 1,000 fighters, and tomorrow in a major operation you could lose 30,000. And then 10,000 could just say goodbye. They could just defect. What will you do? All your hard work of years will be wasted. This is what is happening, by the way. Sani has surrendered, Sharabbe surrendered, hundreds of fighters surrendering to. And government, if it manages to uh, chalk out a detailed plan, maybe in future it can launch a major operation killing thousands of Ola fighters. That strategy of growing big will just be a failure. I believe Ola's first weakness is its strategy. Secondly, Showa versus Valega clan rivalry, or RC versus Valega. Valega versus non-Valega issue is there. It's one of the reasons behind split in the Oromo Liberation Army. Sanye from Showa and Komsa Dereba from Valega. Yes, Ola has its presence across Oromia, but everyone knows Ola's stronghold is Valega. Ola draws main strength from Valega. Ola tried to build strong presence in other parts of Ethiopia. It does have a presence, but not like the presence it has in Valega. There are commanders from other parts of Ethiopia too in charge of other zones, but still main leadership is from Valega and it is based in Valega. So how will Komsa Dereba remove this suspicion that Ola is not all about Valega? That's what he should do. And he's been doing that, by the way. I told you in a video last time that any discrimination, any talk in Ola about clan rivalry, about clan superiority is seriously viewed and people are punished. But that's not the solution. If commanders of other regions have their grievances about dominance of Valega in Ola's decision making, Komsa Dereba will have to share power. People would say that what about Komsa Dereba's way of running the group, dictatorial? Sani others say he's a dictator. I wouldn't call it a weakness because I think armed group, commanders have to be very tough because every commander wants to lead the entire group. It happens. Once you have weapons, once you have men, you want to lead. It's not easy to reign in zonal commanders. Komsa Dereba has to be tough, I think. I don't see it as a weakness, but I obviously I will have to be more inclusive. The second weakness, I believe, is Showa versus Walagashu. Thirdly, what is Ola's real objective? For Oromos, does it want independent Oromia? Ola, a few months ago, issued a detailed statement outlining its objectives. It never called for establishment of an Oromian country. It always says that it wants exercise of Article 39, right to self-determination for the people of Oromia. This, I think, target is unclear. I mean, what does it want? Does it really want? It says that it will do what people of Oromia would want it to do. It is representing people. People are part of it. So, what do people want? If people say that Oromia should be an independent country, it should secede, will Ola support that? Or Ola is in support of secession only, lack of clarity. I believe that Ola, like Fano, like TPLF, like Tigray fighters, would like to lead entire Ethiopia, but if it's not able to lead entire Ethiopia, then maybe a separate Oromia country will be a better choice. That's according to what I understand. There is lack of clarity about the real objectives of the Oromo Liberation Army. They would say they want to protect Oromo's rights. Yes, how? How will the rights be protected? If Maro is chosen as the prime minister, will the rights be protected? So, by protection of rights, what does it mean? There is definitely lack of clarity. Exercise Article 39 is just a talk, just a point. Tigray has also been Tigray, TPLF leaders, Tigray commander. They've also been calling for implementing Article 39. They could not. And how is this article going to be implemented, if ever it is implemented? No one knows. That is why when people say Article 39 should be implemented, I think this is something which is not clear. Lastly, viewers, last point is not Ola's weakness, but this is what Ola is faced with. Ola is not the only main player in Oromia. I see three main players in the Oromia region. Unlike Amhara, unlike Tigray. In Tigray fighters are in alliance with TPLF military on one page. That is why they managed to build an army, they managed to reach Shoa. In Amhara, Fano fighters have managed to emerge as one of the biggest player in the region. Internal players, I'm not talking about military. In Oromia, there are three internal players. Oromia Prosperity Party, PMRB. If we say that Shimalas, Abi, they have no real following in Ethiopia, in Oromia, no, it's not correct. They have following, they have supporters, they have huge party structure, they have their people everywhere. They have government too. So Oromia PP Prosperity Party is one player. Second player is opposition. Political parties trying to emerge. They have soft corner for the Oromo Liberation Army. OLF, OFC, POs. Uh, you cannot call them as part of the Oromo liberation now. Now, Jawar is emerging as a key player. He could emerge as the second main player in Oromia if he manages to mobilize people and people start uh, uh, supporting Jawar. He could be the second important player. Third important player is the Oromo Liberation Army. So Oromia is not represented by Ola only. Ola's fight is not just against military. There are two other players too in the region, and both are strong players. I mean, Amhara PP is a weak player, I believe. Military is controlling the region. If military withdraws, government will collapse there. But if ENDF withdraws from Oromia, I don't think Oromia government will collapse. Oromia PP, Oromia forces, Oromia government strong. This is what Ola is faced with, that it is faced with two main internal players too. I'm not saying they are both opponents to Ola. One is an opponent, other could be an ally in the form of Jawar, OFC, OLF, etc. OLF was part of Ola. They were the same party. Later they split. This is what I believe is the situation. Ola, I believe that Ola should hold discussions, internal discussions. Komsa Dereba should not just force his decisions on the commanders, on diaspora, which heavily supports Ola. There should be clarity of purpose. There should be clear direction. There should be a time frame for achieving objectives. So far, this type of goal setting, I think, is missing in the Oromo liberation. Thanks for watching.